Hey guys, got Colossus Footswitch loaded with brand new firmware to show you. It essentially takes what you typically have in a direct control situation of any Footswitch, where you can change your channels and your loop bypass, master, mode, etc. And allows you to actually store those settings in presets. And we've got 7 presets available, basically one for each button. And the Footswitch has 2 distinct control modes. The direct control mode, which is like your traditional control mode for any sort of amp Footswitch, and then the preset mode, which of course allows you to update and recall presets. So just kind of running through the direct control mode, we've got just a clean tone, you know, no loop or anything like that. I do have a delay in the loop, so I could turn that on. And kind of shows you that you can do the loop bypass with that. You got dual masters. I've got second master set up a little louder. Which I'm not sure if you can even hear with the camera compression, but kind of a crunch tone. So, you know, it's your typical Footswitch control situation. So now if we want to pop into preset mode, we just essentially hold loop and master for a couple seconds. Everything blinks to show you that you're changing modes. Previously I had preset 5 here selected, and it's telling me that it's actually changed by blinking. I can just reload. I can either reload that one. Let's just load 1. 1 is essentially the other sound I had, which is clean with the loop on. And when you hit that preset, you can see how the loop blinks, and that's essentially what the Footswitch does when you load a preset to tell you what it's actually changing to in the direct sense. So you can kind of go down the line. Here's just a crunch tone. I've got lead 1 with mode on here, lead 2 with mode and fat on, lead 1 again with just mode and fat on, and then this guy here is clean with master on, and I believe the loop is on there as well. Yeah, so anyway, we've got a bunch of different presets, and so it's pretty powerful, since you can do basically anything in each preset, anything you need to do on the amp. To change a preset, it's really simple. Let's say for our basic crunch tone, well, you know what? Let's this one is kind of boring. Let's change this to a different channel and everything. So we'll pop back into direct control mode. Say we want to go to crunch and turn the mode on. And we've already got the loop on. Let's turn the master off because we don't need to be super loud. And essentially go back to preset mode, and you can see it's blinking again to show that we've changed something related to this preset. To update it, all we do is hold it down. Everything blinks a couple times to confirm. And now the loop button here, preset 6, is a new preset with crunch with mode on and the loop engaged. Pretty cool. Now, I'll say we want to turn mode off. We don't actually have to go back and forth on modes in the Footswitch, since everything works bidirectionally with the amp and the foot switch. We can do stuff on the amp and just update the preset on the foot switch. So I don't know, maybe we want to turn mode off, and you can see it starts blinking right away. We can just save that, update it, and now it's doing our thing with mode off. And we want master on, let's say, starts blinking again. Store, turn the loop off. I can bypass the loop by holding the master on the amp. Again, starts blinking. Everything's good to go. Similarly, now in the direct mode, you can really see all the stuff changing on the foot switch as I change the amp. Everything's tied together, which is pretty cool. Back to preset mode. I could see using this in a band situation really easily, not having to remember all the different rhythm tones you might need to recall for different songs. You could just remember, I've got a couple different clean rhythms, got a couple high gain rhythms, got a couple lead tones, and just remember, oh, I need preset 6 for this or preset 2 for that, etc., and not have to remember mode on, fat off, and what channel and all that sort of thing. In addition to having the loop capability, you can essentially assign the loop to any channel you want on a preset basis. So it's a pretty powerful system there. You don't have to deal with manual selectors or something like that on the back of the amp, like you might with non-digital amps. The other thing, since the amp is all MIDI as well, I've got a MIDI controller over here, just a run-of-the-mill MIDI controller, and I've programmed some presets in the amp, the amp itself, to actually respond to the MIDI program changes. So I can go through and change MIDI presets, and well, you can see this started blinking right away. If I go back to direct mode, you can kind of see it more clearly as to what's actually happening. And again, the foot switch is always changing to show you what the amp is doing, so that if you do have a MIDI system as well, you can use the foot switch still in a direct sense and see exactly what's going on all the time, rather than having to rely on just remembering what MIDI preset does what. And sometimes it might get confusing, and you hit the wrong preset and you don't really realize it, and you can see clearly on your foot switch that maybe you're on the crunch channel and you mean to be on lead 2 or clean or something, where it's a pretty noticeably drastic difference. Could be a handy status tool, in addition just to being able to directly control it and not wasting real estate on your MIDI board or what have you. So the bidirectional control is something that we've always been able to do. It's just the preset functionality built into the foot switch is brand new, and I think it gives power to the end user that they may not have if they don't have a MIDI system or anything of that nature. And if you purchased foot switch, any of the older foot switches, they're the exact same electronics. It's just new firmware. So it's just a matter of getting in touch with us, and we can let you know how to update the firmware, and or you can send it in, and we can upgrade everything to this functionality. So pretty cool new stuff, and wanted to share with you, and yeah, leave some comments, let me know what you think.